Okay everyone, so in this video, I just want to show you first the next figure that we will be tackling, and that is the Redonda figure. One thing that I just want to first emphasize here, let me just show you here carenza. You might hear the term carenza in other systems, other martial arts systems that will be specifically for Filipino martial arts, and carenza is just simply you doing natural movements. So in our system in Wedo Martial Arts International, or under Grandmaster Pallorina, we call this Oido. So in this case, I'm going to show you an Oido Redonda that is also commonly seen. There are a lot of variations of Redonda. This is just the main emphasis that I want to talk about in terms of what I'm showing you here right now. However, we have a variation in the system of Grandmaster Frank Soberino and Grandmaster Pallorina. We have what we call the Redonda figure, but it is not going to be the same as the one that I'll be showing you here. So basically, you will see a lot of Filipino martial arts systems that will be showcasing this kind of Redonda. Okay, it's a swirling movement of the double sticks, and this is referred to as a Redonda. In this case, I'm doing some more of my own personal Oido movements. These are some of my carenza, as we may call it, in using double sticks. But there are more variations in showcasing the Redonda technique. But overall, that's just one of the most common thing that you will be noticing in a lot of Filipino martial arts systems, and that will be you being able to showcase that movement from where double sticks are being swirled around. Okay, that is normally for muscle memory development. I would say that this is utilized for the development of muscle memory and body coordination, because you're moving. If we try to rewatch it again, you're moving in a way that you're developing body movements. You're working with your footwork. You're also developing coordination of your hands, and of course, you're incorporating some concepts that will be involving strikes that you can deliver to an opponent. So, but here, this is just also a cardio exercise that I'm doing. I usually do and perform the Redonda Carenza or Oido Redonda that I'm doing here right now, that doesn't have any specific number sequence, just for me to be able to also do a drill, or let's say I'm doing this as a drill. So again, we have to separate the concept of drills from the concept of applicable techniques that you can use for combat, or what we call sparring, or what we call random strikings that we usually do or perform during an actual altercation. Again, this kind of movements are movements that we're doing so that we can develop muscle memory, coordination, footwork, and hand speed, and even power. We also develop power while you're doing this. Wrist movement, wrist flexibility, and so on. And that is one of the reason, and also cardio. Don't forget that cardio. We can also incorporate cardio when we try to talk about the Redonda figure or Redonda exercise that I'm doing here, or drill that I'm doing here. Okay? In Wedoska, or in the system of Tatay Pallorina, we have what we call the Wedo Redonda figure. So let's look into that. Let me just go and minimize this. Let me just open that video. So you would see, if you remember our first video, we do have there the abecedario figure. The Redonda figure for Wedo or Oido of Grandmaster Frank Soberino and Grandmaster Cosio Pallorina will be performed in this manner. It's a double abecedario strike. This is the corto footwork. One thing to take note of, if you're learning Oido or the art of Grandmaster Pallorina, there are three most common footwork that we utilized for beginners. that will be the corto, and that is you standing in a serrada position. This is a serrada position from where the weapon hand, as you can see, is in a closed position. The arm is in a closed position. And the strong leg, depending on what you used as a strong hand. In my case, I'm currently in a corto position or close range position that is in a serrada position from where I'm focusing on utilizing my strong hand, which is my right arm. Okay, and you will see that the leg is in front. The first leg is in front, or the right leg is in front. And if we try to deliver the strike, similar with the abecedario, okay, one strike. Usually, the first strike is a way to either parry an attack or a way to distract an opponent. Those are different approach that we try to utilize that first strike, or even a block, or it can be a way for you to defend against an attack. But most probably, one of the most common things that you will notice if you're working with this exercise or drill or this figure is that you are going to utilize this for evading an attack and attacking the attacking hand. Especially if you're going to look into this as a bladed weapon. We normally don't block if we are using bladed weapons. What we try to utilize will be to really attack the attacking hand, and we implement the timing on how to deliver the attack. So right now I was not able to show yet the timing on delivering the attack with a partner, but just keep that in mind at the back of your mind. We are delivering the first strike as a way for us to be able to go and try to deliver an attack to the attacking hand of an opponent. And again, if you're simulating this as a blade, we attack the attacking hand first during the first attack or first strike that we delivered here. And then you will see, okay, it's a combination of abecedario, but we're doing it multiple times. So you would see here, again, if we try to repeat that, one, that's the abecedario strike, if you remember. Then we combine another strike. And usually, if you're in a corto position, there's still that opportunity to attack and try to reach out. The last attack will normally be a reaching out attack, or let's say you're trying to target, you're doing a counter strike so that you can hit a specific part of the opponent. And most probably, you may have attacked his hand and then you try to reach out to the head or to any parts of the upper extremities that is most open, or let's say that you see as an opportunity to deliver a striking blow or a deadly blow to your opponent if you're using a bladed weapon. Just take note, the system of Grandmaster Pallorina is a bladed based system that will be more focused on bladed weaponries. That's why I'm emphasizing here the concept of delivering the first blow as an attack on the attacking hand, and the remaining strikes that we delivered are more focused on attacks that will be for the the neutralization of the opponent. That can be a strike on the head, it can be a strike on the neck if you're using a bladed weapon or an edge weapon. Okay, so that's how you deliver the corto. And here we are just implementing again the possible attack that was delivered by your opponent would be an attack on the low line. So that's why the first blow again is a strike on the attacking hand. You anticipated that he attacked you, and this is what we call the media footwork. If you remember in our abecedario striking, the very basic, the ABC strike, and you will see here, then the rest of the remaining strikes, angle 1 and angle 2. This is a combination of two angle 1s and angle 2, and you're doing it twice, or you would see here 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's a total of 4 strike. First one is against the attacking hand. The second one could be another part of the body that is open against the opponent, that is provided by the opponent as an opportunity for you to hit. So that can be the head, that can be the arm, that can be the elbow, that can be the neck, any open part of the body that you see as an opportunity to target. Okay, I will not be specifying just the head in this case, but technically the goal here is to deliver at least 3 more strikes that will be allowing you to deliver a blow to the opponent in a way that the opponent will be totally neutralized. So that's the media footwork, and on a side position you would see I'm focused on the delivered strike on my low line, and I try to attack that, and then my counter strike will be either on the head or any part of the body. It can be on the medial part, it can be on the midline in a horizontal manner, or it can be in a diagonal manner, and you will see that the delivery is moving back 3 times. Most commonly when you're delivering attacks, most probably you will be delivering it 1 to 3 times. That's why we're doing the Redonda figure here. And again, take note, if this is an edge weapon, you won't really necessarily need to do too much force, or you don't need to give too much force, because an edge weapon can really be lethal. It's much more lethal than an impact weapon. In this case, I'm delivering it with power strikes because I'm using an impact weapon. But if it's an edge weapon, most probably I'll be able to deliver strikes that can render the opponent injured with an open wound if I am using a bladed weapon. And in this case, I'm really emphasizing the value of power strikes. You would see I'm delivering it with not just minimum force. I'm really giving my best to deliver the blow, so that I can emphasize on the components or the aspects of the weapon that I'm using, which is a stick or an impact weapon, for me to be able to deliver full damage to my opponent. Okay, and another variation of that will be the largo footwork, and again I focused on the attacking hand, and then I delivered a counter strike. So that's the largo footwork for the Redonda figure of Wedo. So you would see here, I move out from the attacking range of my opponent, and then I'm counter striking. Okay, that's the concept of the Redonda figure. And that is our Wedo Redonda figure.